Hey guys, I'm making another video with regards to dark pools. The last video I made was on the weekend of October the 16th, but I decided to make a new video because there are some questions that I missed that are actually very important, like the rebalancing trades that are done at at 4 o'clock. And those are very important to go over with dark pools. So instead of making a part two, Dark Pools Part 2, I just decided to make a whole new video and include that question, and along with many others that I received in the last 4-5 years. So instead of making a part 2, I just decided let's just do this again. And hopefully this video is much more informative than the last one I did. So let's start off with the questions again that I've received in the last couple of years. And hopefully this answers all your questions with regards to dark pools, how to use them, how not to use them, and the benefits of dark pools, which I use religiously along with the members in my forum, as you well know. So let's start with the first question. What are dark pool prints? What are dark pools? Sorry. So if you go to Investopedia, instead of me explaining here exactly what a dark pool is, you could, just basically read on Investopedia and it'll give you a clear understanding. I like how they laid this out here. So basically a dark pool is big institutional traders like banks, pension funds, hedge funds, doing an exchange with a large amount of shares in like SPY, QQQ, and it gives them the opportunity to get that price, a set price, like 3 million SPY shares, for example, at a set price. So there's many advantages of using dark pools to get a certain price and to not, mess up the index, because if you're going to just go buy 3 million shares, let's say in SPY, you could really push price around quite a bit. So the reason for these dark pools is to keep the exchanges basically leveled, so that it doesn't have these major price swings. So there is definitely advantages with dark pools. So let's just go through what a dark pool is. Dark pool is a privately organized financial forum or exchange for trading securities. Dark pools allow institutional investors, hedge funds, pension funds, big boys, the boys. So a lot of people that see me on Twitter, by the way, my Twitter is at the Pivot King, or you can see my wife at the Pivot Queen. When I speak about the boys, I'm talking about the big boys. These are the people that, use block trades. And within these last couple of years, I'd say within the last 5 or 6 years, they've been really the amount of volume on the exchanges is just huge using dark pools, which I'm going to be covering later. I think I would say about 50% of the volume is dark pools. I know they've been around since the 80s, dark pools. So they have really picked up recently. I'd say within 2015, they've really, every year it kept on going higher and higher and higher. So I think right now about 50% of the volume, I could be wrong, maybe it's even higher. I think it's higher, but every year it's picking up. More and more volume is going towards the dark pools, which is why I really pay attention to dark pools, right? So back in the day, back in the day, we used to always want to find out what was the inside scoop. What are the boys doing? What are the boys doing? And it was those dark pools that where you really could see the footprints and exactly of what institutions were doing. Now, before 2014, I know 2014, they made this data available to the public for free. You were able to access the data now, and that's good, because ever since then, I think dark pools have been just exponentially exploding every year. More and more, just like I said, are using dark pools. I would say, like I said, 50% of the volume at least, maybe more, is towards dark pools. They're definitely, you definitely want to use them, but there's certain ways how you should use them, right? And a lot of people just think by following a dark pool, you're going to make all this money. It doesn't work like that, because if it did work like that, then everybody would be a multimillionaire, like I've said in my previous video. But there's definitely ways to look at dark pools and to use them to your advantage. But there's also other ways that people use them that, they just give up on them because they really don't understand how they work. So just know dark pools, they're used by big institutional investors. So you could just go to Investopedia. This link will be below the YouTube description. So in the description on this video, I'll have this link, and you could read up more on what dark pools is. But all in all, dark pools are used by big money, big institutional investors. And they just basically say it here: mutual funds, pension funds. So they've been around for a very long time. They've been around since the 80s. But like I said, they just picked up steam, especially within the last 5-6 years, I would say. But before that, you would have to, really hear the word on the street. They've been using dark pools for a very not since the 80s, but before FINRA, offered this to the public for free, there was avenues and ways to get this information regarding dark pools, but it was very advanced. It was an edge on trading if you knew certain institutions that were utilizing dark pools back in the day. It's still an edge, even though it has exploded within the last couple of years, at least since 2015. So I use them religiously, like I've said many times on Twitter, but there's a way that you should use them correctly. So that's around basically just a brief description of what dark pools are, why I use dark pools, and let's go to the other questions regarding dark pools. So the second question is, can I use dark pools as a trading indicator? This is another question that I received through all these years here. One second here. No. Like I said, dark pools are a piece of information. It's not to be used with trading. So if you want to, just because you see a big dark print, even though they mark lows and tops, it doesn't mean you take the position because there's a big dark pool. It has to line up with other factors and other indicators within your charts. For example, the people I've taken the Pivot King course, we line up dark pools along with my other indicators that are in our charting platform, and when they line up, we make a very high probable I would say guess of whether it was a buy or sell, or is this an area we should take a short, is this an area we should take a long. So we use the dark pools along with other pieces of information to give us an advantage and give us an edge on a very high probable trade setup. So can you use dark pools as a trading indicator? My answer to that is no. It is a very good piece of information you could use along with your trades. A very good piece of information. So I would recommend using dark pools along with other pieces of information. One combined could make a very high probable trade setup. Now, I've been looking at dark pools for many years. Even before 2014, when they made it available to the public, there were still areas in which you could derive this data. A lot of the word on the street back in the day, people, institutions taking positions would come out, and those were blocks, right? And people would take advantage of those. Now, mind you, back in the day, it wasn't as much volume as now, as I just said. In the last couple of years, especially, I would say like at least 50%, maybe more, volume is traded on dark pools of the volume per day. So it's definitely something that people should take advantage of and pay attention to, but you definitely have to use them the right way. So, yeah, I would not use it as a trading indicator, but you definitely have to know how the dark pool prints work. Now, me living and breathing trading and being at your screens 8 to 10 hours a day, you get to pick up on things that other people don't with regards to dark pools. We were one of the first to have dark pools on charts. I'm actually an affiliate. We had, having them on charts makes it much more visible to you on where price is, on where those big pools are with regards to price. So we would make a probable trade setup visually by seeing the blocks on the charts, like here. We would, buy, sell. I'm going to be going through this later on in this video, but that answers your question. I got to move on to other questions, but can I use dark pools as a trading indicator? I would say no. Once again, it's to be used with other pieces of information to get into a very high probable trade setup. Are your dark pools better than TradingView or Thinkorswim dark pool indicators? There are indicators that people have on TradingView and Thinkorswim, but that is, I don't know what they actually did with that, but looking over it and speaking to other members that have used them, I find that they're not really, how can I say, not really valuable, because you don't know whether the dark pool is a buy or sell. So by not knowing if it's a buy or sell, you really have to line up other pieces of information along with that dark pool to see if it is a buy or sell. You have to basically do your due diligence along with other pieces of information, and to make a probable guess. This looks like a buy, but you can't just say this is a buy. You have to make that a buy from the boys. I'm going to get into later into this video of examples, and you'll see visually how they've nailed bottoms and tops. So I personally think, and this is my personal opinion, by using those indicators on TradingView, there's so many of them, and Thinkorswim, from speaking to members, they're not very reliable because there's so much dark pool activity now every single day that it could be very distorted using those. And that's why I never looked at them, but this is just members telling me that it's a waste. So that's why we have them on charts. They're much more clear, much more visible, much more straightforward, which I'll be getting going over later in this video. So my question is, I would not use them, but you're up to use whatever you want. But based on feedback that I received, it's very hard, very difficult, and very confusing because they're not very accurate from what I was told. I haven't used them. I like to see things visually. I like the blocks on the charts. That's why we have them. And you really understand this looks like a buy, this looks like a sell, combined with other things, which I'm going to be going later through this video on specific blocks and showing you in real time. For example, SPY, the last video I made, by the way, was October the 16th, Saturday. It's not up now because I'm making this video, but I said here during the video that this looks like a buy. You can, and there you go. So, and I also said in the video, look back Monday, it was the 17th on Monday, and see what happens. And lo and behold, we had to move up. So people that watched the last video, there you go. That was the print when I made the video on the weekend and said, yeah, that looks like a buy. But I was lining it up with my charts and said, this is a very high probable setup here that we're going to squeeze and rally next week. This was on the weekend of October the 16th, which was last weekend, where I made the video on dark pools. But this video is going to replace it because there is some questions I missed, as I said in the beginning of the video. So we did squirm up, as you can see. So that was live, real time, and there you go. But let's move on to the other question. Would you consider dark pool volume as an indicator? That's one. I guess so. Yes. For example, here was the example where I gave an indicator used with other pieces of information. So here you go. There's a volume. That's big volume there. It's 2,587,000. So, would you consider dark pool volume as an indicator? Of course. The bigger the dark print, the more probable, the market's going to go up or down. So kind of like here, sorry, we have, oh my God, look at that. We have around the same print right at the highs on this move up. And then there you go, right? That little blimp there tripped the stops and puked down. And then you have this big print where I discussed, like I said last weekend, and looked like a buy. And there's the squeeze. And this is at the end. This is October the 23rd, making this video, which is a Sunday. And the Friday, which was OPEX, which was 2 days ago, we have these massive prints at the end, which I'm going to be going through later. I'm going to be making my daily video this weekend, and those look like sells. So either, Sunday at 6 p.m., which is later on tonight, they run it up, trip some stops, which I do have a 38.20 level, or it just gaps down and pukes because this is a large amount. So I'm going to be going through this later in this video as well. But just to round out here, would you consider dark pool volume as an indicator? Yes, as I just showed you. The bigger the print, the bigger the volume within the print, definitely shows that, the boys, the big boys, the boys that I referred to a lot are planning something. For example, this move up, that move down, which I'll get into further in this video. So hopefully that answers your question. I do look at volume and the size of the dark prints, the dark pool prints. Can you tell if dark pool prints are a buy or a sell from dark pool index data? Can you tell if dark pool prints are a buy or sell from dark pool index data? Well, I kind of just answered that question. Yes, with the volume, just like the last weekend when I made the first video with regards to dark pools, calling the this move, which was on the weekend, up, as you can see, down. People know that majority of the times I nail these dark pool prints very, very good and very accurately. Like I would say, how many times, they're accumulating when the market was going down, they're accumulating, they're dumping into strength. I know many people that follow my Twitter and watch my daily videos, which I give one free a week. You'll hear me say they're dumping into strength, they're accumulating, and those were those prints that are end up, there's prints on the downside. So there'd be, so here's like, there would be a big print here, then it would be lower, and then another big print. So this is kind of like dumping to the upside, right? They're dumping into strength. Now, they could be continuation trades, meaning here's a big one for higher, which it could be a buy or a sell, right? I think they're dumping into strength. Now, there's certain patterns and certain things you have to look at to determine if they're dumping into strength or they're accumulating as the price goes down. Or they're doing continuation trades, which is the price goes up and then they buy more here, and the price goes up, they buy more here. So there's continuation trades, there's dumping into strength. which is when the price goes up, they're dumping into, or they're accumulating when the price comes down. Sorry, guys. So basically 3 different avenues. So can you tell if they're buys or sells? No, because they don't report them as buyers or sells. Dark pools, like, they're hidden. They don't want to basically tell people their footprints, but you can make a determination whether it is a buy or sell based on the data, based on how you know how to read them, and based on other factors. Like I said earlier in this video, other pieces of information, when combined, you can make a probable guess of whether the boys are accumulating or dumping into strength or buy or sell. Hopefully that answers your question, because I get those questions a lot. And that covers that particular question. Can I use dark pools just for trading? I kind of covered that question already. No, you just because there's a big dark pool doesn't mean you just, at the bottom of a price where it's low, it doesn't mean that you just buy it, buy SPY because it's lower or sell SPY because it's high. Now, these blocks here are lining up with my charts, and my oscillators are peaked. As many people that have taken the Pivot course understand what I mean by that. It hit very important, strong, resistant pivots. Then I seen the blocks, and they came in and aligned with all this other piece of information, which makes a very high probable trade regarding a sell or a buy. So, like I said earlier in this video, you want to take this data, you want to crunch the data, and you have to basically line up dark pool prints, which I like to look at the big ones, which I call the boys. And the big prints really determine whether I think price would be going higher or lower based on all other indicators that I use, which I go over in the Pivot course, to make a very high probable trade setup. For example, last week again, when I made the first video regarding dark pools, I made a very high probable trade setup that the week after, on the October 17th, we're going to get a massive squeeze based on these prints and other factors, and we did. That was just one example. And I actually told you in the last video, go check back and see what happens Monday, the 17th. And there was one person that actually commented on the video and said, "Oh my God, you nailed it. It's exactly what happened." So that video is not available now, because this video is going to replace that video because of questions that I missed, that I got within the last couple of days, especially the rebalancing of dark pools, which is one of the questions I'm going to be going over towards the end. But hopefully this video is much more clear and much more understanding than the last video I did. Like I said, this is not scripted, guys. It's like I don't write a script. This is me talking off the top of my head. So maybe I might have to do the video a couple times. Well, this is the second time of me doing it, so hopefully this one's better than the last one. I know that people that do these videos on YouTube have it all written down. I just put my recorder on, click record, and I start talking. So I really don't have time to write it all out. So it's just, I think about this stuff day in and day out. It's on top of my mind. I live and breathe trading, so you should be able to pick up on it right away, turn the camera on, hit the record, and start yapping anyway, right? So there you go. It's just these questions that I had to go through my emails, and I laid them all out. And I missed some, but hopefully this video covers all the other ones that I missed. So let's go to let's go to another question here. So that was it. Can I use dark pool prints for trading? The answer is no. You can't just use it for trading. Whether there's a big print at the bottom or the high, it doesn't mean anything. You have to line it up with other pieces of information so that you can make a very high probable determination of whether to go long or short. Okay. Let's get into here now. Can you tell if dark pool, turn on, okay, let's get into the dark pools, because now I basically answered a lot of the questions, basic questions with regards to dark pools. So let's get into what I offer with dark pools and how I've been looking at dark pools for an extremely very long time. We had these dark pools on charts around 2017, 2016. I'm not sure, but I'd say within 6 years, 5, 6 years, when we had these block trades on charts, they've really gave you basically a path, whereas other sites have them on Excel spreadsheets, and I don't know, I can't follow them like that. I need them on charts. Without charts, I can't get that clear understanding of that visualization of the dark pools. Now, there's many other sites that have them just as entries. Like, I don't know how, I can't follow them. I need them on charts. And, for the past 5, 6 years, we've been having them on charts. And I'm one of the best readers of dark pools. When you live and breathe and you're at these, and I've been looking at dark pools for many, 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 many years, even before 2014, when they have offered these to the public. So you have to really pay attention to how dark pools actually, how to use them to your advantage. So that's what I'm about to go through right now. You have, for example, SPY. You would consider this, as I just said earlier, big amount of volume, nice print, boom, sell, boom, buy. These are late prints, which I'm going to go through later. I'm going to be detailing this. So this is on the close, which on Friday was OPEX, very, very, usually OPEX, of course, many people know it's very busy. That was Friday, which was October the 21st. Today I'm making this video on October the 23rd, Sunday. So you could see Friday at the close, massive amounts of prints at the close, which leads me to believe that next week, let's try to make another call here, like I did on October the 16th when I made the video last weekend. We had that move up. Let's see next week, Monday, or even maybe futures when it opens at 6 p.m. tonight. We might get a nice puke. Considering these amount of blocks at the close, lining up with a 37.72 ES pivot that I had, literally it hit right at the close at 4 o'clock, 3772. We could see this drop, or this could be a continuation trade, but considering my intraday oscillators are peaked, I'm looking for a pullback. That's quite a bit. So we'll see how Sunday opens. It could even trip a little bit higher, kind of something like this, where it trips the stops, because I do have a level higher, 38.20 area, and then puke. And by the time, Monday morning, the market opens, it's red. I'm doing this video, like I said, on October the 23rd, Sunday. So we'll see what happens October the 24th, which is Monday. So if this video is posted on YouTube later throughout the week, you can just reference back and see. But as many people know and have been following me on my Twitter, which is at Pivot King, or my wife, which has been nailing gold and silver left and right, you could find her at the Pivot Queen. I go through, dark pools with my daily videos every single day, which I do 5 daily videos a week. You can have those access to those daily videos with the gold package, but I do 1 daily video free per weekend, which I have to do after this video. I'm going to do my daily video for the weekend, and I will be discussing these prints along with my targets that I had, my pivots. That have been lined up. So once again, I'm taking this dark pool along with the pivots and indicators that we have. People that took the Pivot King course understand what I mean. And when we combine them, we make a very high probable trade setup. So you could also refer to the daily video that I'm making this weekend, which is the weekend of October the 23rd, which is a Sunday, and kind of combine it with this video on dark pools and see how it turns out. But many people that have been following me know I've been nailing dark pools, tops and bottoms, for years. Like I said, we were one of the first to have them on charts. I know dark pools by the back of my hand, and a lot of people say I'm a grand master at them. Well, looking at charts 24/7, staying at your computer, seeing how they work, not many people could stay and look at these prints religiously like I do. And like I said, you get to pick up on things that other people don't. It's like the Matrix, as I said in the last video. It's like the Matrix and Neo. When he understands how the Matrix works, he just starts, flying, blocking punches. I don't know if everybody saw the Matrix, but that's how it works. I love the movie, but the more time you spend on something, the better you're going to become. That's it. Case closed. So I've been looking at dark pools religiously for, I would say, especially the last 7-8 years. I've been really, really paying attention to them because more and more people have been using dark pools, as I said earlier in this video, in the last, at least the last 7-8 years, tons, so, and every year it's getting more and more. Like I said, I would say 50% of the volume is dark pools every day, maybe more. I don't know, but I know it used to be 40, but I know it's going higher every year. Right, this year is probably even a lot higher. So it's just more and more activity, and they're very important. I know people tend to use cycles. They use timing cycles. They use Elliott wave. I keep it simple. I use the big money. People know I like to follow the big money, and the big money is dark pools, especially the very big high volume prints. And I use those combined with other tools. So this is how we use them. Now, if you're using the block trades on charts, which we have, you could turn on the block trade alerts. So when you click this and turn it on, you'll get notifications on the bottom right showing you each time there was a block trade. And that's pretty cool because while you're actually looking at your screens and you're looking at price, you're mapping, you're charting, you have an indicator at the bottom right showing you, big prints or prints coming in USO, UNG, QQQ, SPY, GLD, SLV. And then if you see one that stands out, you're like, whoa! And then you go, to the metals chart and be like, what was that GLD IAU print? 7 million. That's huge. And there you go, right down. So having those pop-up alerts, which we have on the dark pools that we offer on charts, it's definitely an advantage while you're trading to see live alerts in real time. So you could turn on dark pools, the block trade alerts, and I just showed you how to do that. You just go here and you turn them on, and you'll see them pop at the bottom right. What are signature dark pool prints? Late prints up to 24 hours to report. So a lot of people ask, look at all these dark pool late prints, right? So they have up to about 24 hours to report it. Or some get fined if they actually don't report it, right? And some people like to pay the fine, by the way, to really hide it. But usually they file within the time given, which is up to 24 hours. But these are late prints, right? So look at the row of late prints. And as you can see, there were buys along with here, right? And these were coming in the next day, and the price moved up, right? These are late prints at the top as well. These were late prints. Anything that's not on the line here is a late print. So this is the price, as you can see. And as you can see, these are not on the line. So these are basically called signature prints, which are late prints. So these signature prints, which means late prints, are prints that are not in real time. They're not done at the, even though the trade was done at an earlier time, they reported it later, within 24 hours, maybe the 10 hours after. And by the way, here's another one, right? You'd see here, that was reported at 5:44 p.m. Well, the market's closed at 5:44. So this is some sort of late print that got reported while the market was closed on Friday. And they're trying to hide their tracks there because no one would be able to do anything at that time. So I'd love to see what happens next week because that's definitely one of the factors I look at where they really hide. Kind of like this little puppy right here combined with this big one. So you're looking at about, there's massive amounts here. I don't know, 7 million worth on the close. That's pretty, that usually marks tops and bottoms, right? It's big. So I'd love to see what's going to happen next week. I think we're going down. I do have a pivot of 34.55. As many people know, I've been looking at that for a while, but you could reference the daily video I give this weekend that gets into that much clearer. So that's what signature prints are. They're late prints, which they have up to 24 hours to report. Some, like I said, report later, and they pay a little bit of a fine. I'm pretty, but yeah, that's what those are. So let's move on to the other question, which was one of the questions I missed in the last video, is what does it mean by rebalancing trades on dark pools? Now, this is very important, and I can't believe I missed this question. That's why one of the reasons why I'm redoing this video. That question, I can't believe it's an extremely important question, because there's a certain rebalancing trades, and they're done on the dot at 4 o'clock, actually. So you have to look at, they happen in ETFs. A good example is GDX on the metals, where they rebalance right at 4 o'clock. So you'll see here, right at 4 o'clock. Now, GDX is an ETF because Nugget, NUGT as an example, or Dust, those 2X and 3Xs trade off this ETF. So they would rebalance the trades, usually at the end of the day, 4 o'clock, using GDX. So a lot of these are rebalancing trades that are done exactly right at 4 o'clock. And rebalancing trades are usually, or are 2X and 3X ETFs that use ETFs to rebalance their trades. Hopefully that understands, hopefully that clears up rebalancing trades. So sometimes you'll see just a massive amount of, like I've seen on GDX sometimes 10 million, 11 million. And, when you get that high, you could see that is a rebalanced trade. So it shouldn't really pop up. This I consider like basically a buy, though, because as you see, it went up, and this is a sell. But like I said, they would get into GDX. GDX is a good example of where, like I said, there's 2X and 3Xs where they need to rebalance the trade, and they use the dark pools on GDX because it follows GDX, and they would rebalance the trade with GDX, and then you would see a massive volume print, 10 million, 11 million, and those are, I would consider, rebalance trades. So they could be very deceiving in a way because they're so big, and you have to determine whether that was, a rebalance trade or an actual something that you should follow. But like I said, dark pools are to be used with other pieces of information. So whether it was a rebalance trade, buy, sell, you have to use that information along with other things, which we have down packed in the forum, as many people know. And we use that to make our decisions. So hopefully that covers the question with regards to rebalance trades. I'm using GDX as a perfect example. There are many other ETFs too where they rebalance their trades, but GDX, you have Nugget and Dust that get in and they rebalance their trades on GDX. So if you see something like 10, 12 million, 13 million, because I've seen them on GDX, it's a very high probability that's a rebalance block trade. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. They rebalance every day, actually. I'm actually pretty sure on GDX, but usually the really, really big ones. And they do it at 4 p.m., exactly at 4 p.m. Usually the trades at 4 p.m. are those rebalancing trades. What other questions? Okay, here's another question here. Could you hide your order flow from your competitors with dark pools? That's what basically dark pools are used for. It's basically to hide the volume and order flow. They use dark pools to hide. They really don't want to let people know. After the trade is given, though, of course, people know. But as a dark pool, it hits the tape, and it fills. Then we know, especially after 2014, they made it public to a lot of other people instead of institutions. But it definitely helps with liquidity issues. But yeah, I would say they hide their order flow with dark pools, definitely. Why wouldn't they? That's one of the reasons why they use dark pools and why it's been around since the 80s. I really, really do like that they made it available to the public in 2014. It gives a lot of the smaller retail people much more data prints to go against the big boys. Because everybody knows the boys run this whole show, right? So I personally, and I don't know how many times people hear me say, I like to follow the big money. The big money is the boys. The big money are dirt pools. The big money are where I give you examples of SPY with that amount of shares. That's the big money, the big institutions, hedge funds, and that's I like to look at their footprints, right? So could you hide your order flow from competitors? Absolutely, you can. And let's give some examples. You have insider CEOs, CFOs. They get their brokers to do dark pools. They have large insider insider buys. Or they have to buy millions of shares. They're not going to go into the open market and buy millions of shares. You're going to really distort the price by doing so, and that's why they use these dark pools. And I'm sure their brokers for the CEOs, CFOs, or directors. Well, directors are probably not as big as the CEOs buying the shares, but if you're buying millions of shares, they're going to filter through their brokers and go through the dark pools. There's also a lack of liquidity. It could be. And by the way, I wanted to go talk about rebalancing. You don't have rebalancing in stocks. You're just with ETFs. So going back to the rebalancing question, you don't have that with stocks. So when you see a dark pool print, there's nothing with rebalancing in stocks. It's mainly for the ETFs like GDX, for example, where there's 2X and 3X ETFs where they would use GDX to rebalance the trade using dark pools. So I just wanted to clear on that. I forgot to bring that up. So stock buybacks, you have stock buybacks, CFOs, they use dark pools. I'm sure they instruct their brokers. Well, I'm not sure. They do. They go through their brokers and they, purchase when they're, purchasing quite a big amount of shares. They're going to go through a dark pool. But there could be liquidity issues, which I'm sure there is. They've been having. There is liquidity issues, but the dark pools, they help with that, right? Especially to get it at a set price. So then you have algos. Like you don't want to. How are you gonna? How would you? For example, to answer the question again, can you hide order flow from your competitors? How would you be able to get into the open market and purchase millions of shares? You have algos front running your price. They front run constantly. And there's many algos that front run big orders coming in. And these dark pools help with that, right? They're not going to be, especially they push the price large. If you're going in there buying millions of shares, and it's not a dark, that's why a lot of people are using dark pools. You have all those algos front running your position. Pension funds, hedge funds, they get front run, and they go onto the dark pools, and that helps not getting front run because they could do that one purchase, boom, at that price, and it definitely helps. Keeping the price stable and takes care of liquidity issues. So dark pools, I could see why they're getting more and more every year and why it's going higher and higher every year. Like I said, every single year it's drastically going higher and higher. That majority of the volume on these indices are dark pools. I would say 50%, or maybe it's higher now. So you have many advantages of using dark pools. Like I said, you're hiding your order flow. CEOs, CFOs are able to purchase stock buybacks. They use, I'm sure, they go through their broker. They institute dark pools. The algos that front run pension funds, hedge funds, that front running, doing a dark pool, you don't get front run. You're getting that set price. So there's many advantages of using dark pools, and that's why I think every year it's going higher and higher. So that answers that question. Using order flow. Yeah, definitely you can hide it using dark pools. Let's go to the other question. Are your dark pool prints in real time, as many other services have it delayed by 15 minutes? Yes, our dark pool prints. Look, being an intraday trader like I am, I need them in real time. Like when there's a print, especially in this market in 2022, the volatility in this market in 2022 has been crazy. And by the way, you could reference my homepage where I speak to members of the forum that have been with me for a very long time. And we called 2022. If those videos were done in December of 2021, and we stated 2022, watch out, it's going to be dangerous, especially in January. And ever since January, since January of 2022, this market has been volatile like crazy. I'm supposed to open the site to new members in January. Since January, it's still been closed. And I'm making this video in October 2022. So 10 months. Once again, I never opened. But guys, like I said, it's coming. It's coming. I just, I'm working every weekend trying to get things done. I can just open it up, but I want some other things done to the forum and the site, and then I'll open it up to new members again. But stay tuned for another video with regards to that. But dark pools, they need to be in real time. I know if you go to other sites, you'll see they're delayed by 15 minutes. I can't trade, especially in a market like this. I can't have a block trade 15 minutes late. Literally, you would get, something like this, a trade at the top there, and I took a short with it. I saw that, dark pool there lined up with my indicators, and I went short, and it started moving, and the price could already be down 40 points, and then 15 minutes later you see it, but the move has already happened. So that 15-minute delay could really put a dent in. I can't trade up now. Okay, whether you're a swing trader is a different story. You're holding the trade for weeks or months or whatever, 3 days, 4 days, that's a different story. But I personally like intraday trading in and out, holding the trade, for, especially in this market, for basically 10 minutes. 10 minutes, you can make 40 points, 30 points. On Friday, literally on OPEX, we had moves of 20 points in literally a minute. And if you're having a dark pool that's delayed by 15 minutes, like what use is it? The move is already done, right? So those are the ones that get reported right away, which I do look at. There is ones reported late, as you can see, but there's ones that they're reported right away. It's a lot of hassle and a lot of work to report them later. Like you got to remember to report it later. So I think a lot of these institutions just report it because they don't want to get fined, right? So. And you can get fined. So I think and a lot of them do get fined because they forget to report it. So these late prints, which I'm sure they're doing it on purpose, putting them late because they want some people to see their footprints like me. But I've been looking for dark pools for an extremely long time. And, having them on charts, especially within the last, I'd say 6-7 years, looking at them religiously, like every single day. And that's how I'm able to pick up and use these dark pools a lot better than anybody else, because I live and breathe these dark pools every single day. I don't know how many times on Twitter, and people on my forum know, I've literally picked tops and bottoms. For example, October the 16th, you could reference the people that watched the previous dark pool video, which is not available now, because like I said, this one's replacing it. But I nailed the move from here. In real time. I even told you, check back next week and see where it is. And the price was up 180 points. Let me repeat that. 180 point move. And I said, this looks like it's going to rally and rip people to shreds. And it did. Now, I don't know what's going to happen next week here, but I make it a very probable setup that we're going down. You could reference, like I said, my daily video that's coming out later today. It will be out before 6 p.m. But we'll see what happens there. Let's see if I can make it 2 for 2 for two videos. I'm pretty sure by Monday morning it'll be red. We'll soon find out. But like I said, this video will be out later on during the week next week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, or maybe even Monday. It depends on if Alyssa, that is a worker of mine managing the site, can get that video up Monday. So we could reference back to it. But even if it isn't, it closes green too, I'm still looking next week for a move down. But like I said, this could be a continuation trade, and then they're dumping into strength, but these are pretty big. So yeah, once again, CFOs, CEOs, they use dark pools. When you're purchasing millions of shares, you're going to want to go through the dark pools. You don't want to get front run by the algos. That was another question that I wanted to go through the other video that I didn't, but I'm covering it through this video. So yeah, a lot of people use dark pools when you purchase very big amount of shares, because there's so many algos there that front run positions. It's crazy. Look at Robinhood, for example. Yeah, free commission trading, but they sell the order flow on site L. So there you go. There's a lot of shenanigans, a lot of shady stuff going on. So dark pools is the best way to go. And you cover your tracks, hide your order flow. Later on, you see the trade because it's available to the public now. So, but just because you see a big print doesn't mean anything. Like I said, you need to use it with other pieces of information. So dark pools, real time, extremely, extremely important. So for me as well. But if you're swing trading, I guess it's okay to get it delayed, especially after the close. You see big prints in a stock or SPY, but it's 15 minutes later and you can decide what to do the next day. But intraday trading during the day, you're getting prints throughout the day, right? Oh, my TV shut off, so you know what? I'm going to have to end this video very soon. When the TV shuts off, it means Steve, wrap it up. So let's move on to the next question. There you go. Why you should use dark pool data prints along with your trading? Follow the big money. So let's go through examples. I saved the best questions for last. Why should you follow dark pool prints? And as many people know, I always say I like to follow the big money. Once again, I'm going to repeat that. I like to follow the big money, the boys. So let's go through it. So I'm going to go through volatility, metals, and energy and index, and I'm going to show you how it works on my site. Okay? Which people know that I've been following dark pools for a very, very, very long time, especially within the last 6 or 7 years when I had them on charts, which makes it more clear for me, and I started to pick up patterns. Now, I don't mean to be conceited or anything, but I don't think anybody comes even close to the patterns that I've picked up in the last at least 6 or 7 years, because I've been looking at these religiously, as many people know, on the forum, and a lot of people have learned from me from the forum on how to read them, which is what the trading community is all about, right? We're there to exchange information. I'm there to help people, and people are there to actually help me too. But I only have 2 eyes. Having 100 eyes in the forum, looking at a block print, like you'll see, I have a room. And you could refer to my bronze package, the video where we have a block trades room. And when there's a big block trade, someone will post, look at the size of the SVXY print. Look at the size of the SPY print, like these at the close. People posted, right? So, and by the way, we have the trade alerts that pop up here too. So you basically have so many avenues to see the big volume print. And having multiple eyes looking at and how to use them, because I teach how to use them in the Pivot King course and what to look for with the block prints along with the indicators that I have in the Pivot King course. I have now basically a pivot tier, a Pivot King army on the forum that I like to look for. Now they know what to look for and they post it and they share it with me. And I only have 2 eyes, like I said. So when I start seeing, blocks in GLD, SLV, I know how many shares per security because I've been looking at these so long that you get to pick up on things that other people don't. So a lot of people think they know these dark pools, but experience helps, especially if you're at your screens day in and day out like I am. You get to pick up on things that other people don't. And I don't know how many examples and how many real-time posts I would do. Guys, this is a buy. They're going to squeeze and it happens. Guys, they dump this. It's going to go down and it happens. Thousands of times. And people in the forum know. And people on Twitter know, because I would even post it on Twitter in real time. And it happens. Like I said, I just did one October the 16th. The last time I did this video, you had a 170 point move the next day. When I basically said it looks like they're going to squeeze her because this pool print was lining up with other things. So you know, I'm not talking about after the fact. I'm talking about before the fact. And there's so many examples on Twitter and in my forum where I speak before the fact of what happens, and it happens. Of course, sometimes I'm wrong, very rare. Like I said, guys, I'm not that conceited guy. I'm just saying as it is. Many people on Twitter comment about it. My forum, good call. And there's people in the forum that call it too. And I love when people call it, and I love telling them, excellent call, because if you made a good call, it's good to see that the person made a good call. Why not? Why, there's so much hate in this world that no one compliments someone when they make a call before actually the move happens. On Twitter, you have all these people always talking about the move after the fact, whereas in the forum and even on Twitter and even with regards to blocks, we call the move before it happens. And, I like to praise people that do that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Some people, I don't know, get jealous, or some people say it's conceited. Why telling someone when they made a good trade is bad? But if someone makes a bad trade, they'll be all over them. It just shows you that there's more hate than good in this world. But I'm not about hate. I'm about good. I'm about helping people and making them feel good when they do the homework and put in the time and get something, especially when it's to the tick. As people know, I always scream to the tick, because when you map something and it's to the tick, it feels good, especially if the price reacts from that, right? Shows you know what you're doing. So along with blocks as well, when you read the blocks and you look into them and it works out in your favor of what you analyzed with that dark pool, it feels good. But you can't just do that by looking at the dark pool. You need to use other indicators, which, we got it down packed in the forum. Looking at these day in and day out every night, you pick up on things that other people don't. So there's other people that look at dark pools, but I don't think they'll be able to really grasp dark pools without spending time looking at them. You have to look at them. You have to, in 1 week, you're just going to look at it and dark pools. You can't just trade off them. I just explained in this video that trading off dark pools, you're going to get the shots. Just because there's a big one at the bottom doesn't mean you buy it. It can go lower, way lower, and there's another big one, and then way lower, and then there's another big one, and that means they're accumulating, but you can't be able to hold that. But you got to be able to know that, wait a second, this looks like accumulation, I'm going to wait lower, because there's other factors involved that are telling me to wait lower, as an example. So let's go through some charts and I'll show you exactly, sell, buy. We got the accumulation here, then late prints here, and then boom! That's a big move with this amount of shares, 366 to 375. That's, okay, a 10-point move there around. But these are millions of shares. You do the math. You know how many millions and millions of dollars they made profit? Even the smallest move, millions of shares, smallest move, $2. It's millions of dollars profit. Who makes that every day? The boys. Anyways, as a reference to, here's QQQ. You could see accumulation here, accumulating to strength, and then boom, dumping. So they go back and forth, accumulation here. IWM, lots of action. I think they're dumping here. They bought here, and at the close, looks like dumping. Or they could be continuing a move. I don't know. We're going to be detailing. I'm going to be detailing this in my daily video, which is going to be done right after this video. But I think they're dumping into strength. I think the market will come down on Monday. We'll see, or Tuesday, turnaround Tuesday. But, late print here was a buy, nice move up. Another buy here, nice move up. So you definitely have to read these, buy, accumulation here, move up, late print. They didn't want you to see this one. Dumped into here, bought, up. So these are just examples here. Volatility. There's one with VXX, bought. And as you can see, they didn't dump. So, which tells me I think the VIX is going higher next week, because there's no big blocks on the top there, right? Now, I'm going through this just like I go with the daily videos. Every daily video I do, I bring up blocks with the particular security. So what I'm talking about right now, if you view my daily videos, which I said I give one a week for free, you'll see that I'm speaking, how I'm speaking right here. SVXY, bought here, looks like. This is a dump here. I'm not sure. I have to line it up. But like I said, we have really no big block on UVXY at the bottom or VIX, which tells me these could be sells. And maybe the VIX flies, we get a nice move, and then we get a big block at the high. So we'll see. Metals, if you look at the last video I did on October the 16th, I talked about gold going down, and we did get a big move down last week, and now we got a rally on Friday, but it's still lower than the move that was down. So, yeah, GDX. Like I said, this has a lot to do with rebalancing, but you could still be able to pinpoint whether it's a buy or sell. As you can see, it's higher here, the sell here. Silver, nothing really big at the bottom. If you see the last daily videos I've been talking about silver, there hasn't been some big prints, but I'm just doing this and going through this so people watching this video understand what I look for. I look for the big money, the boys. I look for big prints. That's me personally. But those little prints actually add up too, especially if you're intraday trading. I'll see those little prints while I'm day trading. And I'm more of an intraday day trader than a swing trader. I like to, turn on my computer, go to work every morning, close it down at the around market close. Sometimes I might stay after 6 p.m. because I'm in a position, but I'll close it out before I'll close it out. Very rarely do I keep a position overnight. I'll close it out before I go to bed. I don't like to have open positions. I don't like to worry. I like to sleep at night. I think rest is extremely important when trading, and that's one of the reasons why I do it. But if you're swing trading or you bought stocks, low-hanging fruit, that's other things you can do, right? So you have that. I have many other things. I have the fangs here, so if you want to look at the fangs, which are very important, buy here, sell here, accumulation here. You can see at the end of Friday, that print there probably go down. Look at Google, buy here, sell here. That's probably a sell. We'll see next week. Accumulation here, sell here. I think they dumped here. We'll see. Like I said, I got to put the chart with it, but this is me. I just know because I've been looking at dark pools religiously every day. Like you tend to pick up on things. I could be wrong, but I'm just doing this on the fly now because I'm just so used to it, right? And like I said earlier in the other video, the more you spend time on something, the better you become. It's common sense. If you're a surgeon, like I said, operating on a doctor, the more patients you work on, I'm pretty sure the better you're going to be at a particular surgery. You know what I mean? And that's why I always say when you're getting into trading, why would you start right away? Practice, You could kill a patient if you're going to operate on that patient right away. Just like you could kill your trading account and blow it up if you don't have that experience and practice. And there's so many factors involved with trading. You could reference my course video that I did for my course page where I get into it in very good detail. But that's for another video. This video is strictly on dark pools. I wanted to make this video better than the last so you have more of a clear understanding because I did miss some questions. So. What else? So yeah, I have many other factors here. You could look at energy. I have energy there. So we have them for the major blocks on charts for the major securities that people trade. So bonds, metals, energy, volatility, fangs, the index. Even bonds for you forex people out there. By the way, look at TLT. That's definitely, J&K. So we have them for the major sectors. I have them here for the major ones because I'm a futures trader, and I trade mainly commodities in the indices, and I have them here on the block trades on charts. If you want to look at a particular stock, we have stocks here where you could type in the symbol. And ETFs where you can type in the symbol, other ETFs. So like NVIDIA here, you could type in NVDA. Now they're not on charts, but still, you can still get good pieces of information from here. Because this is where I talked about, having blocks on a spreadsheet or something. But look at the size of this, right? At 124.66 for NVIDIA. That was right at 1600, right at 4 o'clock. So, that's pretty big. You could see that as a sell. Look at the amount, right? So you have to know the security you trade. That's another thing I wanted. So if you just want stocks on dark pools on stocks, you can go to the stock blocks here. You could type in the stock here or the ETF, and it'll show you the amount of shares. But mainly we have them for the indices, FANGs, volatility sectors, and they're very informative, as you can see. So hopefully that answers your question. It tells you the amount of shares here, the price, So you get all this information, and it's all about you acquiring this information and making a very probable high setup based on the dark pool and based on with many factors, as I already discussed in this video. Guys, this video is already about an hour. My mouth is getting dry. Hopefully I answered all your questions. And the last question that I like to go over is, do I get access to dark pools, the volume trading indicator? I guess I can call it volume trading indicator. Do I get access on charts with the bronze, gold, and or platinum package? So do you get access to the dark pools with any of the packages? Yes. You can reference the bronze package. It's under the membership details on the website. The bronze package gives you access to probable trade setups only and dark pools. This section here, you get access to all of this. I just want to remind you also, you can go to these SPY LT blocks. These are the major 250,000 plus blocks. So this gives you a more clear understanding with SPY, because majority of the people trade the S&P, right? So SPY is very good to look at. So this feature here where you click SPY LTB blocks are 250,000 plus. So as you can see here, buy, sell. It's much more clear. You're just looking at the boys, the big money, which I like to look at. Buy here, you got your late prints here, and look what happened on Friday. OPEX, look at that. So I'm going to be covering this in my daily video, like I said, that it's going to be done right after this video. And I'll be covering these blocks because they did line up with pivots. And when they line up, there is a probable trade setup. I took a short right at 37.71. Look, you can see in the forum. Here, I'll show you. Yeah, 34.71.50. So I took it off and then I put it back. So if you could see here in the forum, it was 30.61.50. I said, no, I'm taking it off. I'm going to go 37.77. This was Friday, right? Okay, my arm's twisted. This was like right at 4:44, right before futures closed. I'm like, oh my God, I hit my pivot, right? So I had one at 37.77 and 37.73, and I'm like, I'm in. So I gave it a shot, and then after maybe 5 minutes later, I saw these big puppies, and I'm like, yeah, it's lined up. So there's a perfect example of the dark pool lining up with a probable trade setup. So the bronze package, you get the probable trade setups, and you get access to the dark pools. And I just wanted to go through this SPY LT blocks where you see the big money, which I like to follow. So you get access to the dark pools. You get access to all these features. In the bronze package, of course, the gold package, you get access to all of this. And you get access to the forum and 5 daily videos a week. And the platinum package, which is exactly the same as the gold package. It's just that you get a crown on your head because platinum members took the Pivokin course. You get access to the block trades on charts and market internals as well. So every single package, if you purchase, and you could find more details about my packages under the membership details page on the website. So if you go to membership details page under thebesttraders.com, you'll see bronze, gold. You could reference the video there because I did videos for bronze and gold, and it'll give you detailed information on what is involved in the what you get in the bronze package, what you get in the gold package. It gives you very detailed information with regards to that. So if you have any other questions, guys, please post on the comment below this YouTube video. Please comment on it, and I'll be happy to answer your question. You could also post in the forum if you're a member. But people in the forum already know how the block trades works, especially if you took in the Pivokin course. I go into very great detail on how to use dark pools along with my indicators. Because like I said, you got to use dark pools with other pieces of information. Hopefully now this video, guys, answers all your questions with dark pools. I'm not making another video again. Hopefully this video, I got it hit out of the park. I covered what are dark pools, why people use dark pools. I covered the history of dark pools. I covered how to use dark pools, how to not use dark pools, how I use dark pools. And hopefully that helps you guys in your trading journey. So once again, if you want these dark pools on charts, you could sign up for one of my packages. I highly recommend you, if you didn't take the Pivoting course, do take the Pivoting course, because it definitely helps you in your trading journey. You can listen to the homepage where there's live people, where there's live members that have been with me for an extremely long period of time, 4 years so far since the beginning I opened. They've been with me, and you can listen to those podcasts where I speak to them about the course and about block trades as well, how to use block trades and how block trades also help them in their trading. So you can sign up for the gold, get 5 daily videos a week to prepare you for the next trading day. You can sign up for the course that helps you in your trading journey, or if you just want the block trades on charts and probable trade setups, you can sign up for the bronze package. Look, the probable trade setups, that's on you. I say specifically under the probable trade setups, you need to manage your own trade. I can't manage that for you. Many people like to skin a cat. There's different ways to skin a cat. I might have a bigger account than you. I might hedge the position. You might not be able to hedge it. I'm just posting probable trade setups. What you do with those setups is on you. If you think that you could follow someone else and they can make you all this money, good luck, all the power to you. I think you won't last 3 months in this market by doing so. That's why I tell everybody it's best that you learn how to fish on your own. So these dark pools are definitely an advantage to trading. I just showed you in this video why they're an advantage. I've been looking at dark pools for an extremely long time, especially in 2016 and 2017 where we had these on charts. It definitely gives you a clearer picture of having pools on charts. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. I'm hiccuping. Now I'm going to end this video. Anyways, I just showed you in real time how dark pools on charts could definitely help you analyze these markets much more clear. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please please subscribe to this channel. The last couple of videos I did, I could see my subscribers have went up in YouTube, which I'm happy about. Please comment below. I know that the last video you guys put comments below. Please, if you can, put comments below this video. Share your experience using dark pools. Share your experience how dark pools has helped you. Or, with the course, or if you're a member of the forum, please comment on your experience. Share this video, click the notification tab, and then you'll know once I do another video that you'll be notified. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos in the next coming weeks. And there'll be a lot of educational videos because a lot of people want me to do those. And I will. But I like to do these only during the weekend. As you well know, from Monday to Friday, I trade. So when I have spare time, I'll do these over the weekend. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, guys. Have a safe trading week next week, because it's going to be crazy again. Those blocks at the top there, they're telling me something on SPY. We'll see what happens next week. Take care, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Ciao.